Hi, welcome to the award-winning Ed Brown Show. And we have a champion here, yes. We have the Mount Calvary Catholic Church basketball team. We have the coach here, Harold White, and one of his outstanding players, Jaden White. So we're gonna give you a little idea of these champions. On the Ed Brown Show, we just won an award, and now we got a champion here with the Mount Calvary Catholic Church. Hey, Coach, tell us a little bit about your school and how did you win this CYO championship and where?
Well, we had 8 kids. We're from the Mount Calvary Catholic Church. It was a school at the time. The school closed. So we had kids that go to the church and from other Catholic schools who don't have a basketball team. So we practiced hard, worked hard, had good players, and we went through the season. I think what did we end up being?
12-3.
12-3.
12-3.
Won our regional championship.
Okay, where was that held?
I'm not actually sure the gym, because we play in a lot of different gyms throughout the season.
But it was held in this area, right?
Yeah, it's in PG County.
Okay.
In some Montgomery County schools.
Well, that's what I mean. It's an area.
Yeah, so it's
CYO.
Right. It's the Catholic Youth Church. It's actually the DC metropolitan CYO. So
area.
DC, Maryland, Virginia, they're all in part. Well, just pretty much DC and Maryland.
So, how did you put this team together for a championship? I see you brought along your son to help you out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've been together for 3 years now. The core kids, so we get new kids, and some kids leave. So we've been practicing for 3 years. So
you've been practicing for 3 years.
Yeah.
And this is out of the 3 years. This first year you won the championship.
First year we won the championship. Well, the first year we won the city championship.
The city championship.
So yeah, we won our regional before, but never the city. So
so this is a big deal.
Yeah.
Winning your regional. And then where do you go? You go national from there, or do you qualify for the national CYO?
No, they don't have a national CYO.
They don't have.
As I know.
They don't have a national. So you're a champion of the Washington metropolitan area. What do you find, getting young men like your son, to come out and what type of things do you do to encourage them to do their best?
Well, basketball is basketball. So you have kids that start off, with
everybody wants to play. Everybody feels they're a champion.
Exactly.
Jason, he feels he's Isaiah.
Right.
So that's what he looks around. He said, if Isaiah did it, so can I.
Right. So, so they come out. You have kids that are just learning. You have kids, like you say, that feel like they're already LeBron James. So you have a lot of different.
Well, sometimes that's difficult, a young man that feels that he's Ron James or someone like Isaiah or something. He feels he doesn't want to play point guard because he get jacked up when he go inside, so he gonna shoot threes. But you want him to go inside.
Right. Yeah, and it's actually tough trying to get kids to come out of their comfort zone. Also.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
Right. Yeah. So, but I mean, we have a good group of kids, so they pretty much, with a little pushing and progging, they'll change up. And like now, a lot of them are going to high school now. This year was their 8th grade year. They're all going to 9th grade, and a lot of the kids are advancing on to high school, some top high school basketball-wise. So they developed. They won the championship. I'm gonna be following the rest of them, through their high school careers to see how well they do. Also. Well,
what are some of the things that you find that the most difficult thing to get over to them? Is it teamwork? A lot of them want to be a superstar, so they don't like sharing the ball. Every time they get it, they shoot it. When you want them to pass the ball around, break, that type of thing.
That's definitely one issue. You know,
Yeah,
at the beginning when you get kids, you know, new kids. But
Right.
like I said, we've been together, and they actually play team basketball, which and you know, like I said, it's been 3 years, but they got it together. They play team
And
basketball.
you have the same group that you had 3 years ago. That's a plus too.
Exactly.
Because they know each other.
Exactly. And they know what I expect. Right? They know what their teammates expect. So, yeah.
What do you do when a player is not doing the things that you want them to do? You sit them on the end of the bench. How do you do that?
That's exactly right. See, I'm one. See, and everybody that seen me coach, I'm not a big yeller screamer type guy. I can show you better than I can tell you. So, and that's exactly what I do. If you don't want to do it the way we do it,
then you sit on the bench.
You can sit on the bench. Right.
Right.
Because that's what you're going to get when you get to high school. So.
Right.
You know,
right.
Yeah.
So the basic things. What are some of the basic things that someone watching the program, they want their son to get involved in, or daughter get involved in sports? What are some of the criteria of a champion?
Well, if you really want to get into basketball, the best thing I would tell the young kids is work on your skill sets. So work on your ball handling skills, right hand, left hand. You know, work on your jump shot. Mainly, what I mean, work on your form, shoot the ball correctly, fundamentals.
Well, how do you get the fundamentals? You know, some kids, they've developed habits, you know, on the playground. You know, remember when you and I were playing, the playground was the place you learned, you know.
Right, right, exactly.
Because once all those champions back then, the playground was the place, you know, that, I mean, you learn how to shoot, you learn how to handle the ball. If you didn't, it wasn't no a referee's there to blow the whistle.
That's exactly right. We were talking about that earlier. Can he go in the paint? If you go in the paint, that's the big boys game.
Right,
You know?
because that's what my grandkids, you know, I always tell them. I say, no, you pay the price when you come inside. Ain't no gimmies inside,
Right,
you know.
right.
You're going to get hacked, fouled, and everything. And that's how you got to learn to shoot.
Yeah.
You got to shoot under pressure.
Yeah, it
Because
toughens you up
ain't no
also.
freebies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you know, I still to this day think playground basketball is a good starting step for kids because you learn to get athletic. You learn to run. You know,
Right.
You learn to build your endurance and everything. But you still need to learn the fundamentals. So if you can join a team with a good coach, he can help you get that. Or they got tons of YouTube videos on how to shoot, dribble, you know.
Okay,
defend.
Jaden, tell us something about your game now. We talked about Isaiah. What is your game? A point guard? You have listed here a point guard. What is a point guard? I mean, tell me about it.
Well, a point guard to me is someone who can get their own shot, you know, shoot, get in the paint, but he could also like distribute to others, make sure others get easy shots in the paint, stuff like that.
Have to be able. You got to learn how to pass. Can't be a ball hog, right? If you're a ball hog, you dribble. What about dribbling? Can you dribble? Can you dribble around? You got to, really be able to, take your skills and develop your skills for different things. A point guard has to have eyes in the back of his head and the side and everywhere. He has to see all at once cutting. He doesn't close his eyes and shoot when he come across the midpoint line.
Well, to me, I have a good handle of the ball. And as a point guard, you're supposed to. So when other teams press, you have to make sure that you can break the press and get maybe a layup, get a easy jump shot, stuff like that. And those kind of things really develop me into what a point guard is.
Well, one of the things, too, you got to look like I say, you got to look for the other players, What about the plays the coach give you? As a point guard, you're in charge of that, If you don't know the plays, how can you be a point guard?
Yeah, so from Mount Calvary, we did have different plays. So when the offense broke down, like if we were on a fast break and maybe it was 4-on-5 and we couldn't get an easy shot, we bring it back out, give it to me, and we reset. then we call a play, and it's just execution. Those plays will get us easy points.
Okay, well, suppose the coach, as a point guard, they say, well, we want to give it to Jaden. You know, he's the sharpest shooter here. And in certain situations, he wants certain people to get the ball, you know, just like Isaiah and the rest of the pros. They, you know, the different point guards, they know who's a sharpshooter and who's not. The joker that don't score a lot, we're not going to give him the ball when we're in a tight situation.
Yes,
and you got to be able, as a point guard, you got to be able to get the ball to the man.
That's like knowing your personnel. So, if we were down by 3, and we wouldn't really expect the big man to get the ball in a clutch situation, we would want to give it to one of our best shooters in that certain situation. So it's more like knowing your personnel and knowing the situation that you're in.
Knowing personnel, that's the key. You don't pass it to John Jones because he's your friend. You pass it to John Jones because he's the best shooter on the team. When you get in a tight situation, you go to your strength, right?
Yep.
If Joker can't make threes and you behind about 2 points, you don't shoot, you don't give him the ball, you know. Or either if you trying to run the clock out and you don't give the guy can't dribble, you know, got a 5-foot high dribble, you know. He turn the ball over, you know. You know, if a player can't keep the ball, and those are things that you have to concentrate. But with that, what happens is that when you're a good point guard, you're going to take some beatings, you know. Right. Tell us about that. How do you look at it when you know you're a foul, but you still have to make the shot?
When I get fouled, like, sometimes I get upset if they don't call it, but it's not all the time. So if I get fouled, I just want to hurry up. And I miss this shot, I want to hurry up and get back on defense to make sure that the other team doesn't score. And if I get fouled and I make the shot, I want to make sure I can concentrate at the free throw line and get us 3 points instead of just 2.
Okay, situation like this. You're down 2 points and you have the ball, and what happens is that your best player, who may be on the inside, you know, maybe a taller player. Okay, just because he's tall don't mean he's the best player, though. You know, but the idea, your best shooter, I would. How do you handle that when the coach gives you the signal to feed John Jones, and you say, I'm going to take this shot myself? So
I have had situations like that, but I know that what the coach says is for the better use of the team. So I could have to clear out one side and feed John Jones, see if he can finish for the game.
But if you don't do it, then you expect to go to the bench, right?
And they put you on the bench.
If he calls a play and you ignore him, then you go to the bench, you know, right? And then sometimes your players look at you cross-eyed too. You know, when you turn the ball over, say, I was standing on the bucket and you throw it to me.
Yeah, sometimes teammates get upset, so that's why I want to make sure that I know that what I'm doing is the right thing.
Well, what do you do in preparation for things like that? Do you watch games or you practice dribbling? As a point guard, you got to be able to handle the ball.
Yeah, so at my house we have a basketball court. So daily I would, you know, come home, do homework, go outside,
and
practice on the weaker part of my game, like say a left hand layup or maybe a fadeaway jumper, or stuff like that. So I'll like work on that kind of stuff to prepare myself if I'm ever put in a situation where I need to use that kind of stuff.
I see. Well, I mean, sometimes at home, you know, there's nobody there, there's no competition. Sometimes the competition is your dad or something, you know, and you try to get him out there so that you can work him over because you're a little faster than he is, you know what I mean? So you take advantage of that, right?
Yep.
But you also understand, Dad may be slow, but he's rougher. You know, he'll jack you up when you come on the inside. You know what I mean? He's not gonna he give you those 3-pointers, but he's not gonna give you the layups. Because see, with layup, he can camp under the basket. See, but if you're out there on a 3-pointer, then you know, being a little slower, you know what I mean? He won't be, but he can handle you coming in from layups. And you got to be ready for that type of game from other players.
Yeah, I got to make sure that I know what type of shot that I'm supposed to take. Say if I have a big man on me, I wouldn't take it all the way to the rim. I might stop. I might get past
you've heard it. Mount Calvary Catholic Church Champion CYO here in Prince George County. We've had the coach here, and we have one of the players. What we're going to do, we're going to bring you another guest. We're going to talk business. See you in a second. Hi, welcome back to the award-winning Ed Brown Show. And we have Alicia Holiday here, and I'm so proud of the young people in business. And what we call this open chair. Now, Alicia is going to tell us how she got started, the types of things, and what's very important for the young people to get into the business world. Alicia, welcome to the Ed Brown Show.
Hi, thank you. Thanks for having me.
I tell you, this is what we need. We need people more like you that's determined that you're going to get into the economy in this country.
Right.
And the economy in this country, what people have to realize, it's not 9 to 5.
Right.
You know, getting a
Right.
9 to 5 job is not it. What you have to do, form corporation, do this thing. And this is what you've done.
Yes.
This open chair. Tell us, what gave you the idea to start your organization?
Well, Open Chair was started just about a year ago. I decided to go back to college, Howard Community College in Columbia, Maryland. And in that, I'm in an entrepreneurship program. I've also been a licensed stylist for over 14 years. So me being a college student, a mom of 2, and I've been a hairstylist, I was in a space where I'm like, oh my gosh, like I love working for myself. I don't have the desire to work for anybody else anymore. And my schedule just wasn't allowing me to commit to being an employee, being somewhere on time and not having to take off.
Time run out.
Exactly.
Right.
And so I was like, well, how could I still work in a salon and still have this flexibility? And that's where Open Chair became an idea, is, you know, co-working space. And like you said, where our economy is going, it's cutting on costs. And so a lot of people rent office spaces, which is co-working spaces, shared spaces, share office spaces. So I was like, why can't we do that for a salon? Same thing, just in the salon way. And it helps a lot of these salons because more stylists are becoming mobile. Everybody wants to, you know, travel. So it really helps the salon industry tremendously because it's a $20 billion industry.
Right.
So there's no real reason for salons to close or to not be making revenue. So this was my way in twofold to help stylists like myself who need salons to work from occasionally, not every day, and then it also helps salons as an additional revenue form instead of just whatever they were already going. So it's just an added income base. So I just was like, you know, I'm already work for myself. I've been self-employed since 2010, and I was like, this is just an extension to what I already was doing. Yeah.
Okay, what about some of your friends, getting them involved in, you know, one of the problems we all have is finance. You know,
Yeah.
is starting businesses, is qualifying and things like that. It takes money and time.
It does.
And how are you taking an approach to that?
Right.
And getting your friends interested in forming a corporation, because the salon business is wide open.
Right.
But the thing about it is that most of the African Americans, they don't have their own business.
Right.
And I think that's something that is wide open, because you find in other races, they have the different salons and things that, and they're taking some of the businesses away from the African American.
Right.
Now,
So that is like the biggest, like one of the major things that kind of at first I was skeptical about even going this far was the money. Like I was just nervous, like how am I going to build this app? Because it's essentially a tech business. Like everything will be on your phone or online. So I was nervous, like where am I going to get this money from? So I finally built my team, which consists of some of my colleagues who have years of experience in different ways. Because you know, sometimes you can't have a bunch of people that are like you and they're totally different from you.
You gotta have variety.
So three of my
to attract other people.
Exactly. So I have three of my colleagues, associates, and friends as well. They're on the team, and then actually my mom helps as an administrator. She does a lot of my emailing and things like that. But as far as finances, I actually have a GoFundMe that has been doing pretty well. That has helped with some of the expense. I also have applied and won several pitch competitions, startup competitions, and some scholarships.
Good. Tell us about the scholarship.
So it was actually the Emily Kim Award, which was you had to pitch your business, do a video, be a woman in business, registered in school, and have a startup. And so I won that one. I also won third place at.
Oh, you won that one?
Yeah, I won that one.
Okay.
Actually, the money I used for that, I was able to go up to New York to this big conference.
Congratulations.
I was invited to. 200 women were invited to the 200 women founded startups was invited from Rent the Runway. That was a great experience. So yeah, I mean, funding is huge, and then actually I'm having a launch party June 2nd, and all of the ticket sales for that is to get us to the Bronner Brothers show, which I'm sure you're familiar. Bronner Brothers.
And where and when
is Atlanta.
that?
That's in Atlanta. That's in August.
In Atlanta?
Yep, in Atlanta. And that's like the home of all the hairstylists. So if I could go to Atlanta and get all those stylists signed up, it would be great. So, I mean, you're right. Funding is one of the major problems that I think really can sometimes makes a lot of, especially young entrepreneurs, nervous to start because they're like, where am I going to get this money from? And then the reality is, yeah, of course, friends and family will support you, but how much do you want to really ask your friends and family for money and over and over and over again? So that's why I have the GoFundMe, and when people can, they contribute, of course, and I appreciate it. But I also am in search of like angel investors, like for low investment but low equity, because I still want full control of my company. But I mean, finances is one of the major things. But thank God, mine is a tech business, and I'm tech savvy, so I've been able to cut corners because I know how to create a website. I know how to do some of the things myself.
That's
so
very important now.
Right. So that has kind of helped the whole concept. Yeah. Yeah.
And you encouraging your friends to get involved.
Yes, definitely.
See, because that's a good example for the young people to see.
Yeah.
And as far as economy is concerned, that's where they talk about a lot of programs and things that have, that to help people.
Right.
But helping yourself along the lines of business is that way you have political power.
Yeah.
You have a lot of power that you normally wouldn't have when you have a business.
Right.
See, when you're a business lady, a businessman, then you can affect, because the political system is run by the business.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And see, a lot of people, all these corporations, everything.
The company is ran like a business. I mean, the country is.
And then you participate in the political system by going to the council meetings, going to all the meetings, and make sure the young people realize that when they start businesses, they get involved in the political system too.
Right, that's true.
Along with it, because the political system is where the money is controlled.
That's where
all
it
you
is.
have to do is open your eyes now and see what's happening.
I think young people, sometimes we have the tendency to sometimes stick to the more modern, like everything that's, digital, everything is online, versus, like you say, going to the local council meetings, going to your local business, small business associations. I think sometimes my generation especially, we forget about those.
Yeah, I know.
But sometimes those avenues and those networking and connections are way bigger than, ours. So I completely agree. My mom reminds me of that all the time.
Yes, because see, this is what I'm trying to pass on to young people, is along with getting involved in your own bit, get into the political system, because that's where the money, all of these corporations, or Walmart, all of these different corporations, they have money too. to help you in your business.
Right.
And see, and then the government, you in a place of government contract, and they have to have a minority business involved.
That's true.
And see, when you qualify for those minority business, then you get involved in the political system. When the contracts come down, millions of dollars, you're involved in it.
Right.
See, a good example that I think they is the MGM. They building quite a few things down there, and they have businesses there. And then you got a new hospital is coming up in Largo, which the youngsters get involved on the line, a CEO line. I always tell people that they need to train the youngsters on CEO, you know, chief executive officer. And the training should be done on that level. You know, I mean, most of the places you go, they have you on the lower level, you know, because you're young. But see, but the idea is that you get involved in the political system. That's the most important thing. And those people are representing you. If they're not representing you the right way, then you vote for someone else. Voting is very important.
Yes.
If you're, especially in business, all the businesses, that's,
you're right,
that's where the money is.
Yeah.
And you're in, you're going to have the FBI coming in at Greenbelt. So there'll be a lot of people coming in. And people means money.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? The potential is there. So that's why I'm just encouraging you and the young people to get involved in the political system along with your business.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay, tell us again, where is that going to be held and the date?
The launch party is actually going to be held in downtown Silver Spring at the fire station. It's a restaurant lounge, Friday, June 2nd at 9 p.m. We have some great sponsors participating. I'm supporting a lot of local businesses. We have Sugar Bomb Bakery, which is amazing cakes and treats.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Don't forget, open chair. I started to say open door, but it's open chair.
Open chair.
That's the name of this organization. Young people out there, what you want to do is utilize the young people because they need our help. We spend our money elsewhere. Why not with them? See you next time.